festivity going. I think it's time. I think we're warmed up. I think we're ready to actually get the show going. All right, so hello again. Let's do this formal introduction now. I'm Jen from Wine Antics, if you didn't know already. I'm an advanced and certified, not crazy, but certified wine taster. Today we have a very special show. It's called Beyond the Bottle, and this is the time where we show you what happens beyond the people, the places, the events, all the fun things that happen in the wine, beer, and spirits industry. Today, we're focusing on holiday party pairings with food and wine. Our special guest today is Chef Maria. So I would love it if you take a minute and give yourself a proper introduction, Chef Maria.
Well, my name is Maria Gonzalez, and I've been cooking for years and years and years, and I'm very experienced at throwing parties because I do them all the time. It is so much fun. It really is. And if when done correctly, you as a host can have fun as well as the guests.
Absolutely. And in the kitchen with Chef Maria today is Stubb from CorkEnvy. I know I'm throwing the introductions out a little bit. I just completely missed the order, but it's live. That's what happened. So let me introduce my gracious, regionally famous co-host, Stubb from CorkEnvy.com.
Yeah. Hi. No, I'm glad to be here. And I'm really glad to have Maria in the kitchen with me today. Maria and I have known each other for a couple of years, and I'm really honored that she's here in my kitchen. We would have shot this in her kitchen, but she pulls knives out when you enter her kitchen.
Oh,
No, but very honored to have her here today. And she has some great dishes prepared for us that we're going to make some great drinks with, I think.
I believe so. I totally believe so. So let me start this off. And this is going to be the first question to Maria. In preparing, let's think about getting in the right mindset of having a party. What are a couple top tips when choosing a menu for a holiday party?
Well, first of all, you have to really think about what kind of party you want to have. Do you want to have a huge open house with lots of people? Do you want to have more intimate cocktail party? One of the things that I like to do is I keep things semi-homemade. There are a lot of things that I do myself, and there's some things, there's no harm in store-bought, getting store-bought items out of Costco or BJ's. So you have to know the taste and how formal you want it to be. I like to do a lot of action stations, and by that, like for example, yesterday, my holiday party, I had a set of 3 crock pots, and it was a slider bar. One was sloppy joes, one was barbecue chicken, and the other one was a Cuban lechon dish. And you could just make your own slider rolls and put it out there. I also had a macaroni and cheese bar, big macaroni and cheese in each chafing dish, and have different toppings: jalapenos, bacon bits, taco meat, hot sauce, and people can mix and match what they want. And that way, you're not slaving all day long.
Wow, that's some great advice. I like the idea of actually having a party and not slaving over the food and trying to be that gracious host that I think everybody wants to be when they're doing a party. Stubb, let's talk about the other side of this. Chef Maria mentioned some great food options and some great menu development. Why don't you share some tips so that we can figure out what beverages to choose with that?
So, I do prepare menus when I have parties, not as much, but, being the wine guy most of the time, people expect a certain level of beverages available when I throw a party. I like to personally have, if I'm having a, medium to larger gathering, I'd like to personally have 2 reds and 2 whites minimum available for guests, all of the same thing. A lot of people just open what they have in some order, but I like to have some reason that I've chosen these drinks. So 2 whites, 2 reds, you can pick, some more fruit forward or more, kind of wines that the wine geeks would like. So, it gives something for everyone at the party. And then, of course, always cocktails, a few specialty cocktails that you have in mind, and all of the ingredients to make is always a great idea. And, of course, a variety of beers as well. But just think about, as Maria said, with the food, you think about who's coming and what type of party you're having, and go with that. But I think we both kind of said variety is really the essence of it.
Yeah.
It is said to be the spice of life. So let's take a moment and get right into where we start in the party. And I feel like cheese is always the great starter or a great appetizer for anybody. Maria, what advice would you give for creating the perfect holiday cheese board?
Well, I love a good cheese board. And one of the things that I like to have either a blue or a gorgonzola, a firm cheese, like a cheddar, a semi-soft cheese, like a Havarti or a Gouda, maybe some brie en croûte, or just brie by itself. And one of the things that I like to pair with cheese is because I like the whole salty sweet combination. I like to have fig preserves. And I brought over a truffled honey that would go fantastic with any cheese dish. It really will. And it's just variety. Bring them out. Some people like, the goat cheese logs with the fruit on the outside, maybe like a jalapeno cheddar, something that and change them out. Change it up, make it different. Assorted crackers. And if you want to, sometimes you can even add charcuterie like salami and prosciutto or serrano ham, chorizo, things like that, just to keep it going.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I know I always love the complimentary on a cheese board that has different textures, not just meat and cheese, but like some nice sauces, some crusty bread, even some pretzels or some crackers. It really give people that option to mix and match. So I feel like we've set a nice base. We have some questions answered. Your menu is prepared. You have some thoughts and some tips on getting those things started, as well as beverages. I want to take a moment and again, thank everybody who's shared and who's here on Periscope and on Facebook. If you guys need any of these recipes, don't worry about it here. We're going to put the titles up. We're going to put the ingredients up, but I've already gone ahead and created a blog on www.wineantics.com. And Rob who's our producer behind the scenes, he's going to pop up a QR code so that you can just click on the screen and you'll get ready for that. And you can click on that or go to wineantics.com, check out in the blog area and find all these recipes, the instructions and everything. So we left off on just getting cheese board ready. We'll say that. We're getting cheese board ready. So I feel like that's a good way to get into preparing an actual appetizer for today. What do you think, Steve?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do this. What we're doing today is very simple. It's brioche Savourine cheese. We're going to take that and spread that on a thinly, or moderately sliced bagel or baguette slice. And then we're going to drizzle, and Maria mentioned this. And what was this honey again, Maria?
Truffled honey.
Truffled honey. So I normally would go with regular honey over top of this, but Maria has this beautiful truffled honey. And we are just going to we've spread a little cheese on there, just top it, just with a drizzle or two on each baguette. Like I said, we're not covering this. We're not making...
no, it's just an accent.
Yeah, we're not Winnie the Poohing it.
And by the way, a cheese board is also a good idea if you're having a dinner party for like 4 or 6 people. It's a good way to have hors d'oeuvres and cocktails where you don't have to really stay away in the kitchen and you can enjoy your guests.
Absolutely it is.
I have to say I'm watching the demo of you guys and I'm just getting hungry.
Yeah, this is as simple as it is. I mean, it is literally that simple to do that.
But there's more. So that looks crazy fabulous.
Sure.
What do you think, Stubb? What would you pair this with beverage wise?
So right now I'm making what I call, any cheese thing or any beginning to a party, I would normally go with a bubbly. But I'm making a cocktail with bubbly right now that I call the City Cocktail. And I call it that because it was actually given to me by one of my favorite bartenders at one of my favorite local joints. So thank you very much, Matt. Kind of helped me come up with this cocktail. What we're going to do is we're going to take an ounce of Four Roses bourbon. We're going to take 3/4 ounces of cranberry simple syrup, which I made yesterday. You basically make a simple syrup, 1-to-1 ratio, water and sugar, and then you add about 1.5 cups of cranberries to it and boil it off until those cranberries pop, and we all know that from our holiday making of our cranberry sauce. So we're going to chill the bourbon and the syrup together just to get a little bit of a chill on it. We're not going to do that too long.
My favorite sound.
Bam. And we're going to pour this into the glass. And then we're going to top this off with, taking Prosecco up a notch, we're going to top it off with Prosecco, which I have put right here. And when you're pouring the Prosecco in this drink, because you have the liquor in there, but more importantly, the sugar, you have to pour it very slowly and maybe down the side a little bit, as I'm doing here, or it will bubble up way too much. And see, I didn't hit it that hard. But, there you go. And you can give this a little stir, but since you've shaken it, you probably don't need to with the bubbles in there. So go ahead, please do.
This is the best part of being on the live show. She gets to taste all of it.
No, it's mine.
I know, it is yours. Let's try out with the cheese there. You know if I hit a home run with that one or not.
That's okay. Don't touch my arm.
I know.
And then I think we have some fans out in Periscope. They're liking the bubbly. They're liking the look. I particularly love the color of that. So that is perfectly fast and perfectly festive too.
Yeah, you get a little festive for the holidays with the color in it. And like I said, the cranberry's a little tart, and the bourbon just adds a little bit of a kick. It's a nice little beverage, but it pairs beautifully with this brioche cheese.
No, it's just fantastic.
All right, so you did a fabulous pairing, and I feel like I should throw something in for effect now. It's for a beverage pairing. Now, if you're like me, getting ready for any holiday party, I am not the perfect planner, okay? I tend to buy things for a party, like going to visit the day before or the day of. And I know there's a lot of party procrastinators out there just like me. So I'm the one that heads to their local ABC store. I'm the one that heads to their liquor store and or their local grocery store the day before or the day of, and grabs all of the items that I need to head over to the party really quickly. And you could see some of the photos. This is me going to the grocery store and picking for this show, getting the pairings ready. Not too long ago. I am a total party procrastinator, but it's fun. You know, it's great that you have your local shoppers, your local giant. There are a wide range of products out there, anywhere from $6 to $15 that can get you party ready in a heartbeat. And be like me, because a lot of us are like me. So for pairing for this, I went to the local grocery store and I came up with two actual drinks. One is a little less traditional. We can say it could be in the category of the champagne for beers, or a beer as a champagne for the common person. We'll go with that, or just me. I picked up a 6-pack of Leinenkugel's Cranberry Ginger Shanty. Okay, this is a holiday or festive season type of beer. Leinenkugel's itself is a nationally distributed chain, and then they have these great seasonal beverages that come out. I love the idea of something simple on the plate, such as just cheese, honey, and crispy baguette, matching with a complex seasonal beer like ginger and a shanty, and it's light, and it'll get you started on a party. Next, I went more traditional, and you already mentioned bubbly. I paired this dish also with a Prosecco. And my go-to Prosecco available that I found at any grocery store is Ruffino. It is my go-to DOC Prosecco, which is the common Prosecco made out of Italy, because it's highly accessible. It's consistently good from year to year, and honestly cheap, anywhere between $11 and $15. So those are my pairings. A little non-traditional with a beer, but very relevant, and of course very traditional with just a straight Prosecco.
Absolutely, it goes along the lines with what we were talking about earlier, though, like having variety for your holiday gatherings, having a little something for everyone, regardless of who's showing up to your party. Yeah. Like those pairings, Jen, that's great.
Yeah, of course. And
I'm a fan of the shandies.
Which one of us wins on this pairing, Maria?
I got to eat.
I realize. Yeah, I know, right? I know.
So
I'm bribing you. I'm plying you with food.
I'm gonna go with.
All right. No, we're not keeping. No, we're not keeping score.
So, Maria, would you suggest any pairings with, either the cheese board or this specific brilliant dish?
Well, to be honest with you, I am more of a wine person than a beer person. However, I do like Pilsners, lighter beers. I'm a Stella Artois nut. That's always in my fridge. And that would go really well with this as well, because I think it's got the right amount of bite to it.
I agree with that.
Amazing. Well, very nice.
I'm giving the point to Maria for this round.
Oh, okay. Well, she is our special guest, so I think you're going to win every time.
Just wait till the East German judge gets in on this, and nobody's going to win.
Plus, you're in close proximity to Stubbs, so I think you're always going to win. He may fear you a little bit.
Nice.
That's good or not. That's true.
So we have the cheese course and pairings down. So let's move on to some heavier hors d'oeuvres.
Right.
The next dish is a bit of a holiday party classic, the Swedish meatball. And Maria, take it away.
So, this is one of those dishes, like I said, people can just help themselves. You don't have to serve them. And even you can use it as an hors d'oeuvre or have it for dinner over egg noodles. Now, so I'm going to kind of bring in a couple of regular items that you can get anywhere. This is so easy, it's going to make your head explode. Well, not in a bad way, but, and you can do it in a crock pot. So, get your handy dandy crock pot out. And it's so simple, like you just throw everything in. You have 1 can of beef broth, real simple. And then you have 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. Again, you cannot get easier than that. And yes, this one.
Right there.
Hey,
You're welcome.
Easter bunny, bop bop.
Live.
And this is something you can, even if you want to just make it for dinner one night, you can put it on in the morning and you go to work and you come back and you got dinner done. But it's also good for a party as well. And you just kind of stir that up. And then here's another secret super duper ingredient. Onion soup mix. Just throw that in there. And like I said, this is something that you can find anywhere. And it's economical. And just kind of just mix that in. And then for a little added zest, a little bit of steak sauce. Because who doesn't love a little steak sauce? Just like 2 tablespoons, call it a day. And then, instead of you having to make meatballs, just put the meatballs in, buy a bag, put them in there. It's not gonna hurt anything. Nobody's gonna die if you don't make your own meatballs.
I love this philosophy, Maria, with letting, kind of semi-homemade sort of thing going on, especially when you're throwing a larger party.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just put that all in there and put it on low 5 hours or on high 3 hours, and you're pretty much good to go. And there's going to be one final step, which I'm going to show you now.
Boom.
And this is going to give you that creamy factor.
The magic of TV.
I know. This is so exciting.
Yeah, it's like we practiced
Oh
for something.
my goodness. Look at that.
Wow, it's finished and fabulous.
I know. So one of the things to give it that added creaminess, you want to add sour cream at the end. Okay. Now this is important because sometimes when you add cream, sour cream, or heavy cream to something that's hot, it'll curdle and it'll get that it'll separate and get those white bumps in it. So what you want to do is you want to temper the sour cream. Bring the sour cream to room temperature and just put a little bit of the hot liquid in there and temper it like you would for chocolate or anything like that, just to get the sour cream temperature ready to mix in.
So this is almost like a ready-made double boil, sort of, right?
Pretty
Sort of
much.
like that.
And then you just put it back in. Boom, boom, boom. And are cooking with Crisco. So, and there you go. And then just give it a spoon and serve. And now, again, I will tell you this. Like I said, I'm a fan of the semi-homemade. And if you don't want to go through all this trouble and you have an IKEA close to you, buy their mix because it's delicious. And if you don't have an IKEA near you and you want their mix, Amazon sells it. And there's no shame. You don't have to tell them where it came from.
And that is a traditional Swedish sauce, though.
It is a traditional Swedish sauce. There you go. Done. Pour it over noodles, finish stirring it, and warm it up, and you've got a party.
Boom. Yes, absolutely. And Stub, what is your pairing beverage-wise for
What I
that?
started with, I don't even know. I have 2, ironically.
You? Okay, we'll start at the top.
Wow, awesome. So my first one, I thought about this is a wine. Obviously, I'm a wine guy. I started with cocktails, so I'm going to start with wine with this one. For this one here, I'm going with the Velvet Devil Merlot from Charles Smith out of
Shall I serve you?
California.
Oh.
I'll serve you if you serve me.
Oh.
I know, it's like we're behind the barn, right?
I might.
Yeah, this has a little bit to it, some decent fruit forwardness, but it tempers a little bit, but also matches the little bit of the smokiness and the gravy-like of the meatballs here. So that's my first pairing.
I'm coming.
Look at that, crazy.
How's the service around there? It looks pretty good.
It's amazing, right?
We need a fork.
Come on.
Oh, all right, let's go.
Live.
Let's go.
Oh, we're eating on camera. Oh, I'm super jealous now.
This beautiful dish, we might as well eat and taste it with it.
Oh.
My fingers.
Mm.
All right. Well, I'll jump in now because we'll wait. We'll let everybody wait for your second pairing step. I love that Maria mentioned IKEA, and because that's the first thing that everybody thinks of when it comes to Swedish meatballs. And I love the fact that you've taught us not only how to do it very traditional, or from scratch, I should say, but also how to cut some corners. This was me today, yesterday when I visited IKEA. I found the perfect pairing, and it starts off as non-alcoholic, actually.
I don't like that.
Very proud of myself. And since I'm not in the kitchen with you guys, I actually sat down and ate some meatballs yesterday to celebrate with you. But I'm fairly confident what Maria puts out there is going to be on par, probably better. So don't forget, if you need the instructions or any of the recipes, it's up on www.wineantics.com, and you can just click on the blog section. For me, though, the first pairing that I picked with that, or I think I actually did one, was from IKEA, non-alcoholic, as I said. It's called Dryik Bubel, and I'm not even making this up because we all know that IKEA comes up with some fascinating names. It's actually apple and a lingonberry, which is that soda and that pink drink that you get from IKEA, and it's just a fun non-alcoholic sparkling juice for all intents and purposes. Now, the way to kick that up for us people that like to imbibe is either to add, the Prosecco, the Ruffino Prosecco that I mentioned earlier, or you could even splash a clear liquor in there, like a gin, a vodka, something along those lines, and it'll really take that non-alcoholic, bubbly, fizzy, a little sweet beverage up to the adult level. So, Stubb, I'd love to hear from you. What's your second pairing?
And I don't like to keep anything too simple. So my second pairing, actually, Port City Brewery is fairly close to my house. Someone has told me it's only a 1.1 mile walk from here. I don't know. I've never tested that myself, obviously. But visiting their tasting room is amazing and fun. And I thought that their porter, which has won multiple awards since they've come into being, at every competition that's ever been, it's got a little smoke to it. It's got a little bite to it. It's got the maltiness to it. Once again, it complements, but also contrasts with the sauce of the meatballs and the meatball itself. Oh, look at this. Here's some Port City footage. Look at that. It's amazing.
I always love to see the behind-the-scenes footage.
Yeah, it's great.
On the bottle.
This is a great local place here to go and visit, and they have a lot of great beers. But as soon as Maria and I talked about the menu, or Maria told me what the menu should be, and she mentioned this, I knew I was going to do a Port City Porter with this.
It's delicious.
And it works.
I'm really on the losing end of all this today. I would just like to say, I'm not drinking, I'm not eating, but I did have Swedish meatballs at IKEA yesterday.
Excellent.
So I see that there's a lot of people out on Facebook that I just want to take a moment as we're now getting through about halfway of the recipes. We've got 2 more fabulous recipes to share and lots more pairings. Lots more. I speak good English. So Jeff Adams is out there, Ryan Perez, Cheryl, who which I knew I was going to butcher that name. I also saw our friend Mark Suspic. He was in here earlier. I just want to take a moment and say thank you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate the hearts and the likes. I hope we're helping you get ready for your holiday party season, which I feel starts pretty promptly after Thanksgiving. So our next dish, let's keep the flow going. Let's do the pairings, keep you guys eating, keep you guys drinking. Our next dish is a little something different and has multiple ways that you can pair it as well. So what do we have next, Maria?
We have what we call a tortilla española. Now, it's a Spanish tortilla. It's not a Mexican tortilla. It has nothing to do with that. It's eggs and potato. And you can add things like green onions, bell peppers if you want to. And it's something you can make ahead of time in a tray, cut out little squares and leave out, and it can be room temperature. And it is the quintessential tapa in Spain. You can also cut bigger pieces and use it as a luncheon dish with like a green salad with it. I'm going to make that for you right now, and I'll be right back.
Nice. Yes, I've seen some prep on this. I'm very excited about this. Very, very excited. Jen, have you tasted one of these before yourself?
I have not.
Okay.
I actually went through, and in preparation for Chef Maria coming on, I looked at what it looked like, and I firmly said that I had never tasted this before, though it looks fabulous. It looks very quiche-esque, but like you told me,
Same
there's no
family.
bread to it.
Right.
No, there's no bread to it. And the term tortilla came by because in Spanish, a torta is a cake. Well, this is a small, so it's a tortilla. And it's very different than what you would see in South America or Mexico. Completely different now. If you go to Spain and you ask for a tortilla, this is what you're gonna get.
Really? You're not going to get that flat kind of...
No, there's no chips and salsa in Spain. They don't do that.
That's terrible.
I know, well, it's a different country.
Yeah.
Spanish is even different.
So Maria's cracking a lot of eggs in
I
here.
was going to say, that's a lot of eggs.
Well, the recipe that you have is for basically if you want to do it in a skillet and then stick it in the oven to finish off instead of trying to flip it over. This is just going to be baked from start to finish.
Boom.
This is a party dish, so you just kind of want to whisk it a little bit. And you're going to want to add, some salt and pepper to taste as you do. And then again, here's another one of my semi-homemade. If you don't want to chop up potatoes, buy them. Look, buy them in the frozen section, the little squared potatoes. No harm, no foul.
And are these raw? Are they far baked or pre-cooked, Maria?
No, they're just Southern style potatoes.
There we go.
They're already ready to go, and you're going to cook them in the oven anyway.
Excellent.
And I'm going to chop up a little bit of a green onion here and put it in there for you. Just to give it a little bit of flavor.
All right.
And then to make it even richer, we're going to add a little sour cream to it.
Nice.
So.
Now, sour cream, is that a less fancy word for creme fraiche or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Less fancy word for creme fraiche.
nice. And what does the sour cream do for the baking process? Does it help
It
fluff
just,
the eggs? Or?
yeah, it's fluffy.
little
It
cream?
does. It gives it some body.
All right.
It gives it some body. And what you want to do is you want to take this, just a regular aluminum pan, easy cleanup. You want to spray it with nonstick, which I'm not going to do right now, but because I don't have any. And then you just put it in there, just like that. And it doesn't look like much, but it does expand. And you put it in the oven at 375, uncovered for about 35 minutes or until it gets all golden and puffy.
And look at this, through the magic of live
Of television,
what we have here is,
la 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 la, we have one that's completely done for you. So, and then you can do is you can just take it, flip it over. Oh, and it can, oh, well, again, the magic of live television. Pretty close. But you get the idea. And, well, that did kind of work out. But as Julia Child says, nobody knows what happens in the kitchen except you. And we'll just make it work.
Except when you're live.
Except when you're live. But then again, she was live too when she started doing her shows.
Well, that is a fact. That is a fact indeed.
And she split a couple of She spilled a couple of omelets in her day.
That is very true. But I think she thought that was part of the fun.
Of course it is.
This is part of the fun,
It's
right?
part of the fun.
Excellent.
Especially if you have wine with it.
Which she always did.
As you do.
So how long did we cook this again? Because I lost
cooked
track
this
of
back-
time
sorry.
because it was so quick in and out of the oven.
35 to 40 minutes.
There we go.
375.
So that prep took all of what, about 3.5 minutes?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you just let it go for the next 40 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And you have this great
And you
dish.
have this lovely dish.
Bam.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. That is amazing.
You're broke, but. So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, you can have it room temperature. You can have it, you know, as a side dish for a luncheon plate. Perfect for you.
All right. I am not hearing Jen right now.
All right, no, I'm here. I apologize. So that looks fabulous. You did an amazing job taking something that was very rectangular in this case and cutting it up and making it look nice and making it actually look like an appetizer. Because I was wondering when I saw the pictures of this, I was like, how do people make that look like an appetizer? It's a quiche. You serve it in little squares. No, you can do all types of things, and that's
Put a little toothpick in it. If you want to make it fancy, chop a little fresh parsley on there. You plate it on a platter, and there you go.
Parsley is the glitter of the food world, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That curly one, the Italian flat leaf one, that was nice. Yeah, like I said, you can even put like roasted bell peppers in here. You can put anything. I got to put scallions in. You can whatever you want. The world is your oyster. It's your canvas.
I always love scallions and egg. So Stub,
Yes.
what are your pairings, or at least one of them? Let's get people started.
Well, actually, I only have one, and
Okay.
we made a traditionally Spanish dish, so I went with a Spanish wine, and I went with Albarino, and it's one of my favorites. I usually will pair this with seafood or sometimes chicken, but I love Albarino. It's got great acid. I know I talk about that a lot on all of our shows. I love the acid, especially when you're pairing food.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go very well, especially with the creaminess of the eggs, the creaminess of the sour cream in there. So I went with this great Albarino here, Val Le Sosego.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
I love Albarino. Like you said, I love the acid on the Albarino. I love just the characteristics. I love to have a light white wine with an egg dish. I think the egg is dense and hearty, especially in this scenario. So this Albarino is a very nice complement to it. I see a couple people. You're getting lots of yums. Abby Froming is totally saying yum. So did Cheryl on Facebook Live. So you're getting lots of great feedback. And
Watching Abby and Cheryl
Yeah,
both. Yeah.
and I see the couple people
See this later. I'm just saying.
and a couple people in Periscope as well. Lots of kisses, lots of hearts, which I just assume is people loving up on.
You're also welcome. I just don't personally know that you live close enough to Jen over in a bit.
Yes, because you'll have a house full of food very shortly.
So, Jen, what did you think about this when we presented the recipes to you? What are you looking to pair with this?
Yeah, and what I love about this dish is it's appropriate both for the cocktail party, and it's appropriate for a brunch or something along that line. So I went with something that is versatile both ways, can go either way, and you could enjoy it. So I didn't go wine. I went a cocktail, and Bob is usually the one who picks the cocktails. I picked the French 75.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is a combination, and I recommend Bombay Sapphire or Tanqueray. Those are both great things. It's also lemon juice and some skin of the lemon for garnish. A little simple syrup, and the last ingredient is just bubbles. I mean, I've already mentioned the Prosecco, the Ruffino Prosecco, 3 different times, but there's other. If you're mixing a cocktail out of bubbly, it's going to go a little bit lower. The Ruffino sits at $11 to $14. If you want to pick up something like a cupcake, which is very accessible, nationally accessible in grocery stores, that's okay too, and that sits right under the $10 price point. So all you need is a champagne flute, a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of syrup, and some bubbles, which I feel are always going to be around at a cocktail party or at brunch. Boom. That's the French 75. And I love the fancy stemware. And there's the Tanqueray and Bombay I recommend. Love those gins. Some lemons. Lemons are always good. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Hey, Maria, any thoughts on the pairings? I mean, I know you've done the food. Do you have anything that you really like to match with this dish?
Honestly, I am a fan of a really nice Rioja.
Oh.
I think the dish it seems light, but I think it can stand up to a Rioja. Even a Crianza or Tempranillo. Any really good Spanish wine would really bring it out. Especially if you're doing this as a tapas party and you have chorizo and you have olives and you have marinated artichokes and things like that. I think that would really pair nicely.
Yeah, I think the creaminess of the eggs, I think you're right with the heavier body reds, but I also think, adding some of the other ingredients you talked about, that's where you maybe, in my opinion, you really want to step up to the reds and get away from the whites. Although I love that French 75 idea. Jen, that was really good. And I'm going to eat one of those later.
That's how the kids say it's on fleek.
I was not prepared for that. Keeping it live, Maria. Thank you. So that was actually a perfect recommendation. And if I had found a Rioja, I would have actually paired that. But I thought that, during cocktail parties, you're going to eat some of these dishes the day of, but then there's going to be leftovers. So I'm just finding reasons to drink earlier in the day. Maybe that's what.
As you do.
I think that's why we're good friends, Jen.
Exactly. And it is brunch time on the West Coast. So everybody on the West Coast now has a drink option ready for them.
And it's not too early to pour a cocktail. So
No.
There you go.
All right. So I think we have one more dish coming up, don't we?
We do. And this is, again, one of those people that the people like and they can help themselves. And you make it the day before and you serve it cold the next day. And I'm talking about a nice poached salmon with a dill sauce. Real simple to do. I'm just going to demonstrate the poaching liquid right now. Basically, you take 3 cups of water and you take 3 cups of Chardonnay. Watch me sit.
I see you're using the Julia Child method of measuring. 3 cups. Just keep going.
There's no reason
I love it.
to be that way. And then I want to add a couple of fennel fronds. And we're going to add,
They were a one-hit disco wonder.
They were.
Weren't they?
Yeah, they had that some licorice.
Right.
And then have some basil. And we want to add a little bit of juniper berries. And we're going to add a sliced lemon. And what we're going to do with this, we are going to bring it to a boil and then simmer it for about 15 minutes and let the flavors blend a little bit. And then we're going to set it aside and let it cool. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pour this over a salmon. And I'm going to show you about the size salmon you want to do here.
Oh, we're both leaving camera at the same time.
No!
Oh no, it's the end of the world.
We're back.
Okay, and at the end of the day, this is what you will have.
Oh my goodness.
You
I
can
love TV mute.
dope cream sauce in there.
It is in there.
Yes, and I start with a dope cream sauce. Dope cream sauce is really simple. The recipe you have, it's a little bit of sour cream, a little bit of mayonnaise with Dijon, dill. If you can't find fresh dill, usually in your refrigerator section, they sell like these concentrated herbs, and you can just squeeze out what you need, and it gives you the flavor. And you can just put that out, and people will go nuts for it.
So Maria, why do we once you do the sauce for it, why do we cool that before we pour it over the
Because
fish?
you don't want to cook the fish until you're ready to poach it.
Right.
And like I said, the fish cooks at 350 for about 20 minutes, covered in foil.
Mm-hmm.
And then just get it out. You drain it, and sometimes when you cook salmon, like some white bits come up on top. Just take a pastry brush and use a basting liquid and just brush it off. And then you want to cover it with olive oil. If you've taken it out of it's cool, cover it with olive oil, just brush it with olive oil, put it in a pan, cover it overnight, and then just bring it out. Here you go, decorate it with some fresh dill, lemon, and serve the sauce on the side.
So is the olive oil for flavor? Is the olive oil
Just
for
keep it
some kind of
moist. Just to keep it moist. Yeah.
And do you need to let the fish cool before you actually put it in the refrigerator?
Yeah, because if not, then like it'll make the inside of your refrigerator sweat.
Right, you don't need that.
No.
No one likes a sweaty refrigerator.
No.
Worse than a sweaty gym sock. It's awful.
It's horrible.
It's terrible.
And everything is wet. Oh no, I don't like it.
Absolutely.
I'm just the voice of laughter here. Don't mind me.
I have no mind. That left long ago.
So I'm going to move on to the pairing with this. I'm not a huge fan of salmon generally, in general, but I love this dish. Love this dish. So.
And it's easy. Like I said, make it the night before. And even if you're having a brunch the next day or a breakfast, a holiday, New Year's Day breakfast, New Year's Day brunch, do this the night before, the day before, stick it in the fridge, pull it out with a couple of toast points, you know, some cheese. You can have a really nice, elegant New Year's Day brunch.
That's amazing. So my wine pairing for this is very traditional, actually. I went with a Chablis, not Chablis, Chablis. Great region of Burgundy. I love the wines there. Some great values in that area if you look hard enough as far as what you have. But I think it's a great traditional pairing with the dish. Especially with the cold. But you've got some nice acid on there, but you get the lemon. That complements the lemon there, and everything is amazing.
I'm just gonna go there.
All right. Excellent.
Because I have no shame.
Jen, what
Oh my God, yeah.
what did you think for this dish?
Well, it's time to get festive right now because this is our last recipe, and I feel like I need some. Can kind of see I got some reindeer antlers on because it is the holidays, and this is what we do. So I actually have 3 pairings. Because
3 pairings.
I do. I know. I went totally crazy. That's because when you shop the day before for a party, you overcompensate your procrastination. Okay. So 2 whites because it is a fish dish, and then a red. The meal is complex and hearty. I mean, look at this. You've got a nice sauce to it. You've got a nice fish to it. A couple different techniques in it. And then so I was like, okay, we can really bring this out. The first recommendation I have, or the first pairing I have, is for those that are sweet fan lovers. We haven't really talked about that. There are a lot of great options for you guys out there, even if you don't want to go like Moscato, like bubbly Moscato, very, very sweet. There's a nice run of the middle meat between medium dry and medium sweet. It's called Chateau Saint Michel's. It's Columbia Valley's Riesling. And I remember when I checked it out, found it in the grocery store yesterday. It was around $12. So it's a nice thing. It's nationally accessible, and it's there for you guys that like sweet wines. And when you're going to a party, I want you to think about what you're going to drink too. I always like to bring something for myself that I know that I'm going to enjoy for the evening, even if I don't know the dish. This is a good wine that you can drink by yourself. Keep it low alcohol throughout the night because parties are long, and you know what you're going to like. So that's my first recommendation. The second one I have is more what I would say traditional, more along the lines of what I love about a white wine and a fish dish. It's the Starsborough Sauvignon Blanc. It's very good price point, between $10 and $13. It is dry, it is crisp, it is high acid. It's going to really bring out flavors of the food dish. I think high acid, grassy notes, all these things that are complex in a wine, they just perfectly complement a complex fish dish as well. The last one that I picked is probably the least traditional when we're talking about a fish and wine pairing. It's a red wine, and I suggest a Merlot. I know you're gonna totally go crazy, but I got excited when I went to the grocery store yesterday and I found the 2013 Rodney Strong Sonoma County Merlot. Now I've met the business managers and the promoters and a couple of the staff at Rodney Strong when I went out to Lodi. Great people, and maybe that drives my motivation for picking up this wine. But like I said, the salmon dish is really complex. It's got multiple layers to it. It can hold up to a peppery a rich red. And if you like Merlot, I highly recommend this. And I'm so excited to see that it's nationally distributed. Even down in the little middle of nowhere, Virginia, I feel like I live in.
You threw me for a loop with the Merlot there, Jen. I really like
I know, I've got to every once in a while.
No, the Rodney Strong is I like, it's a good brand.
It's strong.
Brand. It's strong.
It's a strong choice.
It's fuerte. Muy fuerte. Sí, muy macho.
So yes, every once in a while, Stubb, I can throw you for a loop. And
I know, it's amazing. I love it.
just-
I'm being thrown for a loop every now and again.
So I know that you have one other pairing, don't
I
you?
do, and when you said I'm going maybe the most non-traditional with the salmon dish, I'm like, wait until you see what the hell I have coming up here. Because it is the holidays, I've chosen a snowflake martini, which we start with 3 parts of white cranberry juice. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. We go 2 parts of blue curacao, or Caraco, if you're so inclined, I guess, right? I've heard that. Some
I
people
just
say
like
that.
it.
Yeah, I grew up in the South. I'm not a big fan of it either, but I've heard it before. And then 1 part vodka. Maybe it's a little more vodka, maybe, but whatever. So you just pour that over ice in a shaker and shake it up.
Shake, Sonora. Good.
And then you just strain it into a beautiful martini glass. Bam. And look at that lovely color.
And
right
it
there.
reminds the salmon of whence it came.
Indeed. Now, why did I pick this? I know that the dill cream sauce does have the cream on it. So I know it's going to stand up to a little bit of the sting of the vodka. But that creaminess also is going to temper this drink. Most people think this drink is really sweet. But with the white cranberry in there, it makes it a little tart. The curacao makes it a little, that little sweetness adds the sweetness, but it's not too sweet. And I think it pairs well, hopefully. That's fine. With the salmon preparation with the lemon, and especially with the if you eat it with the sauce. And we're gonna let Chef Maria tell us if that works or not.
And I think with the range of beverage pairings we've offered here, it really suits almost every palate. We've given you a cocktail that is fabulous, not only in theory or in ingredients and in instructions, but in color. I mean, that's perfect for a holiday pairing. And then sweet whites, dry whites, and a big bold red. I mean, that's the entire gamut to pair with this just one dish, which I feel like salmon would probably take the headliner of any cocktail party dish.
And you know what? A big bold red wasn't just my name in prison either.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Oh, confessions. It's holiday party pairing confessions. Go, Maria.
Towards the end, I've never tasted all of these beverages now. Now who's having fun?
Yeah, the truth comes out as the snowflake cocktail comes out.
Indeed.
So this is the end of the show. We're getting really close to the end of the show, and I'm kind of sad because there's so many great pairings. There's so, with food and with beverages. We've had a lot of fun with Chef Maria coming on board and enjoying many libations with Stubb today, which is so much, so much fun. I see Jeff Adams is ready to have your salmon dish in his house right now. Like, there's been so many great compliments on your salmon dish, the way it looks and the techniques that you're showing people. I want to take a minute.
Call 888-555-5555 for only $19.95. You can get not 1 but 2 salmons delivered directly to your house.
Only $19.99.
However, unrefrigerated, so it could be like this.
Right. Not gonna be
Eat at your own risk. I want to.
Sushi.
So, Stubb, is there anything that you would like to close out the show with?
I want to thank everyone for joining us on Facebook Live and Periscope. Hopefully, we've had a little bit of fun, and more importantly, hopefully, giving you some perhaps great ideas for your holiday parties. I really, really want to thank my good friend Maria. I really appreciate you coming over and being here with me today. And doing this. Like, I couldn't imagine doing this with anyone else. This is really fun. Thank you so much.
No, I had a blast, and thank you guys for having me. I really, really enjoyed this, and I'm so glad we had this time together. Just have a laugh or sing a song. So anyway, thank you so much for allowing me to come into your Facebook world and invade your Sunday.
Yeah. So looking forward to finishing these cocktails and singing some duets later.
Jingle
I know.
bells, jingle bells.
Wow, it is really
The Andrew Sisters part. What?
dinner and a show, right?
Yeah, we try.
Like,
I call it
what
dinner
else can you
theater.
ask for right now?
It's dinner theater.
Everybody needs to go out and make one of these fabulous
Theater.
cocktails. Grab some of these bottles of wine. Like I said, you could probably find them at your local grocery store, or you could find them at Total Wine or one of the bigger chains. So go out, check it out. The recommendations, the instructions, the recipes, they're all on my blog, which is www.wineantics.com. Rob is going to pop up the QR code again, where you can just take a picture of it and you can go directly there. Or you can go to wineantics.com and then just click on the little blog section. It's the first blog that should pop up. Chef Maria, again, thank you so much. You were delightful. You were entertaining. You had all the personality I could ever ever desire in a chef guest. So thank you. I love to share these things with you guys, and I love that Stubb has great friends and we bring great content to you, but you never know where this live stream show or this live show is going to go. So I just want to encourage everybody, go to the Wine Antics page, www.wineantics.com, and please sign up for the Let's Stay Connected page. It's a little pop-up that'll come up. It's only your first name and your email address, but it'll allow me to start getting you information when we do featured shows like this as Beyond the Bottle. But of course, our weekly show, which is Wine Antics Live, happens every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. And other than that, happy holidays to everybody. We are so happy to share this with you, and I really appreciate the people out on Facebook and on Periscope who have watched. Cheers.